All right, so throwing on the run is a big one that we teach in lessons from time to time. It's not an every lesson thing, but this is kind of the layout that you're going to be seeing. I'm kind of showing one of my lessons the footwork of what I'm going to be looking for, catching inside the left foot, get to your right foot and break, throw from underneath, and continue moving. So one more time. Let's do that first rep. Okay, so it's a quick transfer out of there, and let's see how we start here. All right, so this is Presley. Normally we start with the ball stationary on the ground, and she's just walking through those steps. So how we have it set up, I'm going to move my head here. So how we have it set up is the ball is even with this first pole here. And the reason why is it's going to take her one step to get to the middle of the net. And that's pretty important. So in your setup, just try to set that ball up one step away from your release point. As she approaches, she's going to meet the ball. So her foot is, the ball's deep to the inside part of her left foot. So we're practicing kind of third base, slow roller, throwing over to first base. This is kind of my favorite. It's going to be your lowest angle, the lowest point that you can release the ball is from that super low point where the ball's rolling on the ground. You're not getting any hops or anything. So she's feeling the ball inside of her left foot. She's going to step with her right. One of the things that we're going to work on with Presley is her keeping her left arm or her glove arm on the left side of her head so that she's not bringing her glove over the other side and overly rotating. So she's going to separate middle, but that's going to come a little bit later. Here, she's a little bit high with her head. You're going to notice that she brought her head a little bit higher. We're going to want her to stay low, but this is just her first rep. Pretty good for a first rep. So we talk about that. I think I'm talking to her right now about where we're separating instead of getting over to the side. I believe she's going to take another rep here. Let's see how she does. So she's walking up, inside of her left, step right, and she did a really good job of separating middle there. All right, so this is on a different day. And on this different day, we're working just the arm angle. You're going to see in this slow-mo that we're really trying to work on her head staying low and her elbow going along her body. So trying to keep her head low, elbow stays along the body, and we're practicing throwing from underneath. So a lot of people will ask me what's the difference between this and sidearm. And the big difference is the angle of the level of the head. So from here, if she were just to stand straight up, I'm going to pause this here. If she were just to stand straight up and drop her arm and throw from down here, this is a huge distance to make up, and the distance from the head to the ball is what we're paying attention to. If you've got too big of a distance, that's throwing sidearm. Now, if we hinge and try to keep our head a little bit closer to the ball, that's going to protect our arm a little bit. So keeping our arm close by our body and hinging with our waist to lower our head towards the ball, that's going to help us create this low angle without throwing sidearm. All right. So finishing out with her getting more reps on this same day of actually throwing on the run, giving her a roll, and you're going to see these cones that are to her left as she's doing these reps. what I want you to notice is the path that her feet are taking. This angle isn't straight on, but after she takes her step with her left foot, her right foot it gets closer than we want to those cones. So what we wanted with those cones is to give her a visual aid of where her feet are stepping. One of the most common mistakes when girls are practicing throwing on the run is they're so used to fielding and then stepping towards their target, especially going from third base. We want to sprint directly at the ball, field, and throw without moving towards first. We always want to just keep moving towards home plate. So this is a way to kind of give her a visual aid, kind of knowing that she's moving in that direction. We've used kind of different things too, using a PVC pipe as well. But this is a skill that requires a lot of reps, a lot of going back and forth with the video, trying to see what she's feeling versus what it looks like. And really, this is a super athletic skill. Not everybody's going to look exactly the same, but there are small things that you can make sure that you're doing, especially for throwing from third base. I really like throwing or fielding on the inside of my left foot. Some people like fielding on the outside of their foot. I think that's a little bit slower, but it's really for you to experiment and see what's fastest for you. Because really, if you think about it, you go back to the game, you're trying to get rid of it as fast as you can because the runner's running. So have fun with this one and let me know if you have any questions.